what's up? Was ist los? Wie geht's? All that good stuff. Basically today, I am going to be talking a little bit about the main differences between German and American high schools and high school students. Now, I am 25, so it has been a good few years since I have been in high school, but I did go to high school in America, so I have a pretty good understanding of what it's like there. And since I do live in Germany now, and I speak to a lot of different people here, people who are high school students, people who were high school students here, my husband is German and he went to high school in Germany, so I think I have a pretty good understanding of both situations. So anyway, moving along, if you are curious about what I have to say about the differences between German and American high schoolers and high school students, keep watching. Also, I'm really sorry if the light changes. I am filming with natural light, like in front of the window, and I live in Germany, so it's sunny for, 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden it's just like really dark and cloudy for 5 minutes. There's nothing I can do about it. I cannot control the weather, unfortunately, but that would be cool. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is sports. In America, you are on a team with people from your high school. Now, in Germany, this just doesn't really exist. If you want to play a sport or join some sort of club, you have to go and join the club. It's not attached to your school. So it means that you could be on a football team, and then you would be essentially on a football team with a bunch of different people from different schools and different places. I mean, not different places, but different places around where you live, I guess. But it has nothing to do with your school. I think that this is really, really interesting because one of the reasons I did not want to play sports when I was in high school is because I didn't want to have to play a sport that was connected to my high school and the students and my peers that I already saw all day, every day. I think also when you're in high school and you do join a team of some sort, you're then sort of always connected to that team. Like as an example, I know when I was in high school, I knew which girls were on the soccer team because then that's like who they were. They were the girls that were on the soccer team and they would hang out together and all that kind of stuff. But in Germany, you can go and play soccer and be on a team and compete in games and stuff. But then you get to just go back to school and have those things be completely, disconnected, basically. I think that this is way, way, way better. It's way smarter, and it leads me into my next point, which has to do with school spirit. So what I mean by school spirit is essentially that when you're playing on a team, even if you're playing like for the, debate club or the chess club, it doesn't necessarily have to be a sport, but whatever it is that you're a part of that's attached to your high school, you're competing for your high school, for your mascot. So you have to have school spirit. There is literally even a week in a lot of American high schools where every day of the week, it's like you have to dress up a different way because it's Spirit Week. And it's all about like being spirited for your high school. When I say this out loud, it really sounds so ridiculous because it's just kind of stupid. Like, what does playing on the football team really have to do with what school you go to? It just shouldn't really be connected. It just doesn't really have any purpose. Why does it matter so much what school you go to? Like, I just don't understand. Like, it's just stupid, whatever. I'm just rambling, I guess, but I just find it really ridiculous. And I think in Germany, it's much better because there's basically like no such thing as school spirit. Like, that's just not really a thing. Or at least I'm pretty sure it's not. If I'm wrong, if your school has school spirit, comment and let me know because, I want to be corrected if I'm talking crap, basically. All right, so next up I have to talk about prom and school dances. This is something that I think is pretty funny because the reason I think that school dances like prom, these formal events where you get dressed up and everything, the reason that these exist in the States is because schools are trying to create a way for the kids to like meet up after school, but have it be somewhat supervised. In America, when we're 16, we can't drink alcohol and we can't go to the club if we want to go dancing or, party with our friends. That's not acceptable or legal, basically. In Germany, you don't really need to have some sort of school dance where everybody, gets dressed up and goes to the dance together and like dances and stuff, because you and your friends can just go to the club or go grab a beer or something if you want to. Now, I totally get that the idea of prom and these formal school dances is fun. You get to get dressed up and it's like a big deal and you take all the photos and everything. But the reality is, I think the majority of people don't really have that much fun at school dances. Like, I know personally, even when I was really excited to go, even if I was like feeling really pumped about it, by the end of the night, I always kind of felt like, well, I mean, that happened, I guess. Like, that was whatever. Now, I'm pretty sure that in Germany, school dances just aren't really a thing. I've heard a couple people say that their school has tried to do it, but it just never really works out, or it just feels awkward or something. And I think the reason for that is because teenagers in Germany are really used to just being able to go out and, have a good time or party if they want to. They don't need to rely on these school-created events to socialize with their peers. So anyways, I just think that school dances are a little bit silly, but I just think they exist for the reason in America that, teenagers can't really party legally with their friends the way that kids can in Germany. So the next thing I want to talk about is smoking and drinking. The reason I want to talk about this is because in Germany, first of all, let's just point out the fact that when you're 18, oftentimes you're still in high school. So the way the system works here basically is you can continue in high school up until you're around like 19 basically, I think is the age that most people are when they get their Abitur, when they really graduate high school. So it means that when you're in high school, you can be 18, you can be legally an adult and still be in high school. The reason I'm pointing this out is because it means you are allowed to smoke cigarettes or vape or whatever and also be in high school. In America, that's not really a thing. Most of the time, by the time you turn 18, you're either like ending high school, just ended high school. Some people turn 18 in their last year, but generally speaking, it's like toward the end of the year. And so it means that when you're in high school, smoking is absolutely not acceptable. In Germany, if you're in high school, if you're in your last year or two of high school here, you can go out for a cigarette and that's like pretty acceptable because it's legal and normal to smoke. Whereas in America, not only is smoking sort of looked at a little bit differently, like I think it's just frowned upon a bit more, ads for tobacco are like illegal and stuff like this, but also you're just legally not really allowed to until the very end of high school. And as far as drinking goes, we all understand that the drinking age in America is 21, and in Germany you can start drinking when you're like 16. So I think it makes a really, really big difference in how teenagers in high school party and drink alcohol. When you're in high school in America, you have to sneak around if you want to drink because it's not legal and your parents don't approve and all of that kind of stuff. It means that things like parties where there's alcohol, it's really frowned upon and not allowed or not okay. I mean, people do it anyways, but you get what I mean. Whereas in Germany, you can have a beer at your house when you're 16, and it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, of course, it depends on your parents. Some parents are more strict and some don't care as much here, but legally speaking, it's okay. So it means, that kids can go out and be drinking, go out with their friends, and by the time that they're 18 or 19, 20, 21, they already know how to drink, they already understand drinking culture in Germany, and it's just a very, very different feeling or vibe, basically, than it is in America. All in all, I think there are honestly a lot of really, really big differences between German high schools and American high schools and the kids that attend these schools. I'm not really sure which is better. I mean, I'm pretty sure I think that German schools are better than American schools, like pretty much in most ways, but not in all ways, So anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and you found it somewhat interesting to hear my perspective on all of this. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be absolutely amazing, but if you don't want to, I will not hold it against you. That is it for me in this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!